What is up, guys? The main event of UFC 321 this week is Ciryl Gane versus Tom Aspinall. Now, if you've looked at the thumbnail, you know what I think. But I'm going to tell you why I think what I think. So let's get into it. Does Ciryl Gane have any chance at all? Probably not. You can see this picture here. Um, he got dropped by Tai Tuivasa. We're going to talk about that later. But let's get into what can Gane do to win. Now, number one, knee stomps and leg kicks. Let's talk about knee stomps first. I think the knee stomps will be a very good tool for Ciryl to use against Tom because Tom's main, attack is him blitzing forward, whether it's with his jab or his 1-2, or he throws a left hook. He just blitzes forward a lot. That's like his main thing that he does. And I think if Gane can time those knee stomps, that could be really dangerous. We know Tom Aspinall's had knee problems before. The knee stomps could be very dangerous, and it's just a good tool to stop Aspinall from blitzing forward and landing that 1-2. It'll keep the fight at kicking range, where I think Gane might have an advantage. And now, leg kicks. Another thing, it's just, kind of obvious. Like, if he wants to win, he's going to have to throw some leg kicks because Tom Aspinall has really good movement. He's light on his feet. And if you can take out that base, then it's going to be tougher for him to move around. He's going to be less dangerous. It's going to be harder for him to do like everything that he's going to need to do. It's going to be easier for Gane to hit him. So if he can land enough leg kicks, he could potentially turn Aspinall into a kind of stationary target. So yeah, that's number one. This is very important. Just the knee stomps and the leg kicks, very, very important. Number two, long range weapons like your jabs and teeps. Ciryl Gane does have a really good jab. He used it a lot versus Tai Tuivasa. He uses it a lot in every single one of his fights, especially from southpaw. It's just a long, snappy jab that's very fast, keeps the fight at range, and his teep kicks. He throws them with his front leg and his rear leg. They're going to be another very important tool for keeping the range, keeping the distance, because if Tom Aspinall gets close to him, it's a fucking problem. That's how he's going to lose. If he's going to win, he's going to have to keep the fight at this long distance, and he does have really good teeps. And now that I'm thinking about it, we haven't really seen Aspinall take a good body shot in the UFC. Nobody's really been able to land one on him, and that's why we haven't seen it. I don't think he's going to be like a soft-bodied fighter that's just going to crumble from a couple teep kicks, but if Ciryl Gane can, consistently land those teep kicks, it's going to, prick at Aspinall's gas tank, and if it gets later in the fight, we haven't seen him in that position yet, so maybe if Gane can, survive the early rounds, landing those teep kicks, by the time round 3 comes around, Aspinall could be gassed out. So I think this is a very good, investment shot for Gane. Just land the teeps and the jabs. Keep the fight at distance as much as you can because Aspinall getting in close is going to be a really big problem. Now, number 3. This one's pretty obvious. Defend the takedowns with your life because your life does depend on it. If Gane gets taken down, he's fucking done. He's done. He's not a terrible grappler. He's got decent jiu-jitsu. He can't really fucking wrestle for shit. I mean, he did take Volkov down, but his takedown defense is just, it's a little bit suspect. But in this fight, he's going to have to defend the takedowns super fucking hard. And I think the other 2 points that I brought up earlier of, the distance management, keeping the fight at range, that's going to help him in doing that because you're going to have to get close to somebody to shoot a takedown on them, obviously. And if you can't get close, you can't grab them. So that's the main thing that Aspinall is going to need to do is grab Ciryl Gane. Just get your hands on him. And Gane, if he can keep the fight at distance, he can stop Aspinall from doing that. But I don't think this is going to happen, dude. He's going to have to defend these takedowns so fucking hard. And it's just not going to happen. Aspinall's, he's another level with his grappling and his wrestling. His takedowns are so fucking fast. So these are the 3 points of, like the central points of Ciryl Gane's game plan, what I think he needs to be looking to do. Now, let's get into why Tom destroys him. Grappling diff. There's just a huge difference in the grappling. We saw against the Volkov in the rematch with Gane. The grappling was very even. Neither of them were able to really do much. You know, they both got some control time. Gane threatened some submissions. He had a guillotine at the end of round one that was pretty tight, and he had a leg lock. I think it was in the third round. He loves going to those leg locks. One of Aspinall's only losses, I think his only loss, is a leg lock. So look out for that from Ciryl Gane. He's probably going to try it if he gets taken down. But I think the second Tom gets him down, he's probably going to land in a dominant position, like side control or mount. I don't see Ciryl even being able to get into his guard, really, if he gets taken down. Aspinall is a completely different level. His grappling is insane. He submitted Andrei Arlovsky within like 2 seconds of taking him down. He took Volkov down with so much ease. It was so smooth, and he got him into the straight arm lock, got the tap. His grappling is probably the best in the division. Yes, and I think it could even be better than somebody like Jailton Almeida. You compare him with the best grapplers in the division's history, I think he's up there. So Aspinall has insane grappling. He's been doing jiu-jitsu since he was like 5 years old, since he was a little kid. He was teaching jiu-jitsu classes as a kid, so he's got insane grappling. If he gets the fight down to the mat, it's over. It's done. So this is one huge reason. I think this is what everybody's talking about, the grappling. It's just a huge, huge difference in skill. And Aspinall has proved to be good on top. He can get your back. I mean, he's got dangerous ground and pound. It's just, you're fucked if he takes you down, is what I'm saying. Number two, big power advantage. Now, a lot of people, when they look at this matchup, it's Tom Aspinall is just a guy who blitzes in with his 1-2. Gane is a much better striker, and I don't think that's entirely true. But even if you think Gane is a lot better, one thing that you have to acknowledge is that he doesn't hit that hard for a heavyweight. His finishes are accumulated damage, so if he does get a finish in that matchup, that's what it's going to be. He's not going to sit down and really land a big counter hook as Aspinall blitzes in, or just land a big counter shot. That's not really Gane's style. He keeps the fight at distance. He picks at you with the leg kicks, the teeps, the jabs, and he breaks you down, and then he'll finish you later in the fight after all that damage starts to accumulate and you get tired. He's not going to knock Tom out with one shot, and if Tom lands one good clean shot on Gane, it could be over, lights out. Tom has a huge power advantage, and I think he's faster as well. I think he's got a speed advantage. People, when they think of fast heavyweights, Gane and Aspinall are the two guys that come to mind. I think Aspinall is faster, especially with his hands. I think his footwork is a little bit quicker the way he blitzes in. Gane is a little bit more smooth. He glides around the octagon. His footwork is good, but Aspinall is, more blitzy. I think he's quicker, and I think he'll be able to get into range and hit Ciyrl before Ciyrl can really do anything. So I think he's going to have a big power advantage and a big speed advantage. Number three, Tom has great kicks as well. This is something people haven't been bringing up. If you watch his fights, he's got really good kicks. He's got devastating leg kicks. We saw that versus Sergey Pavlovich. I don't think the leg kicks will be as effective versus Gane because he's not going to be there to get hit by them as much, especially because he's a southpaw. I don't see Aspinall throwing that many, inside low kicks. What he does like to do is he likes to counter leg kicks with oblique kicks. He does that. He did that, I think, versus Alan Badeau is the guy's name. That's a sneaky little thing that he does. That's a really good way to counter leg kicks. And he's got powerful body kicks. He rocked Tabora with a head kick in the first couple seconds of that fight. He's got powerful kicks, dude. He's not just a boxer. His boxing is amazing, but he's got very heavy and very fast kicks. I think he can land the body kicks on Gane the teep kicks. Volkov was landing a lot of kicks on Gane, especially the body kicks. I think that's going to be something Tom's going to be looking for. And if he can land some solid low kicks, that could damage Gane's legs. He's not going to be as fast. Then he'll be there to get hit. I think Tom is going to land some good kicks in this fight. So this is something that I haven't seen a lot of people bring up. Pretty much with Aspinall, because his fights are so short and he usually ends you with the first clean strike he lands, people aren't thinking about the rest of his skill set. They think it's just a 1-2. And he's got a great 1-2, obviously, because he's knocked out like 5 fucking people with it in a minute. But he's got other stuff, dude. He's got tricks up his sleeve. You can watch his sparring videos, his training videos. He throws spinning back kicks. He's not just a boxer. He is a very well-rounded striker, and he's not going to be helpless at range with Ciyrl Gane. I swear to God, people think he's like fucking Derek Lewis. Some of the people talking about this matchup. Not all of them. Most people are picking, Tom Aspinall, but I've seen some people on YouTube acting like Tom just can't strike with him. I don't think it's true. So, yeah, that's what I think about the kicks. Next point, Gane's defense is actually sus. Now, people are going to see this. They're going to think immediately, well, he went 5 rounds with Francis. What do you mean? And that's a good point. He did go 5 rounds with Francis. But in that fight, Francis was very plotty. He was very slow. He had no knees. And he grappled a lot. Gane was getting tagged by Tai Tuivasa even before the knockdown. He was getting hit with some clean shots. He obviously got knocked down. And what he does, he brings his feet close together a lot, especially after he kicks. I think that's going to be an opening that Aspinall is going to look for. And I think with the speed of Tom, he's really going to expose Gane's defensive weaknesses, and especially because he has more power. They both have, kind of sus defense. Like, Tom's chin is up in the air. He blitzes in. I don't think the blitzing is as big of a problem as people make it out to be, because you would have to be an extraordinary striker to actually sit down on a counter shot and get your weight into it against Tom Aspinall blitzing at you with a devastating 1-2. It's just probably not going to happen. But I think Gane is there to be hit. Volkov rocked him, obviously, with that spinning back fist. Volkov is landing clean shots on him. And Gane looked kind of plotty in that fight. He didn't have his usual bouncing footwork. He looked a little bit more plotty, and he looked easier to hit. Yeah, I think his defense is not as great as some people might think it is. And last point, Aspinall is elite in the clinch. I think this is the biggest thing. He will get in the clinch with Gane. He's going to fuck Gane up, dude. His elbows are very dangerous. He's got dangerous knees. And he's just a huge, strong guy who's devastating in the clinch. And if he gets in the clinch, he can drag Gane down. He can look for trips and sweeps because his grappling and his wrestling, everything about that is just another level than Gane. So I think he will look to get in the clinch in this fight, and I think he will take Gane down from the clinch. And if he can get a good trip or a sweep, he can land in a dominant position. I think this is a big point. He's great in the clinch. I could see him knocking Gane out with an elbow, and I could see him taking Gane down from the clinch. So my pick, Tom by whatever he wants. Now, what do I mean by this? This is basically just me saying I think Tom can knock him out, and I think he can submit him. It's just a matter of what's going to happen in the fight. Tom is faster. He hits much harder. His grappling is way fucking better. He can hurt Gane in the clinch and take him down from the clinch. And I think Tom has better boxing, and he's got great kicks. So he's not helpless on the feet. He can absolutely knock Gane out. So yeah, I think Tom is going to destroy him. This is not a hot take. He's a minus 400 favorite. But there's going to be some people that are going to try and be smart and look like a genius and say, I don't know, man, Gane's got a pretty good chance. We haven't seen Aspinall late in the fight. We haven't seen him in deep waters. Aspinall is going to fucking destroy him. So, yeah. I hope I'm not jinxing it, because I really do want Tom to win. But that's what I think of the fight. Hope you guys enjoyed, and see you next time.